In a toxic workplace, you had best make your efforts to avoid the weasel-faced dogs. Let me say that again for you people. In a toxic workplace, you should make your best efforts, rather, to avoid the weasel-faced dogs. And what are weasel-faced dogs? Very good question. Because tonight we're going to get into that. We're going to get into this series of the weasel-faced dogs who occupy your workplaces. The narcissistic, toxic work environments are mostly run over by the weasel-faced dogs. And there's a few categories to these weasels. So today, I guess I'll break this down by starting off with the first particular weasel-faced dog. The person that you see at work every day. The instigator. Because I made a little hit list here. The instigator. This is that person who's always gossiping, male or female, because these days it could be either sex. Laverne and Shirley days or something, they used to get on the phone and chit chat or something. These days, it happens in a toxic work environment, but it's not about just idle chatter. It's more like slander. Slander is the name of the game. Vicious lies and rumors, all in attempts to get you out of their job, to get you fired. And that's why they're dangerous. These instigators will disseminate information around a job. And they'll put a rumor out about you. And since you're dealing with a lot of folks who have limited intelligence, at best, these people will carry that lie to the next person, to the next person. See? And then next thing you know, you're in some type of situation, where you may have to deal with administration or something or whatever because you had some type of issue or something. But it wasn't an issue. They're instigators. There'll be those people on the job who literally, instead of doing something proactive like avoiding conflict, they will run to the conflict. They will fuel the conflict. They will involve third-party people, third-party people, and they'll have those people, caught up in the situation, and you're going to have to deal with them and those people. And these are bad people, folks. None of you go to work to have to deal with stress. None of you go to work because you want to be in a conflict or lose your job. Because you know what? You had bills to pay when you went there, didn't you? Yeah, we know. That's most of us. But because you fail to see the true nature of that instigator, that person was the person that you met at the job on your first day, and they were your best friends or something. They told you everything about their lives because they were trying to fish you for information, because these are things which will be used on you later on. And then why do they do this? Because they have a low nature. They're weasel-faced dogs. They get down in the dirt. They're dirty people. They're scumbags. Weasel-faced dogs. Fucking weasels. And they do this simply for the purpose of instigating for some type of negative outcome. You lose your job. There's a bigger conflict. Maybe, there's a breakup of friendships or something. Anything that they would do in a social gathering, because they're negative. So we don't like these people. So you get to go on the rocket ship. But before I send that rocket ship off into space, because I keep saying this, I don't even know if I want to send the damn rocket ship into space. Because the people in space are much more advanced than we are. And they don't want us out there. So, you know, my thing is, I'll just stick you in that ship for a minute. We'll figure out what to do with you. Let's go to this second weasel-faced dog tonight. This is that person. They're called the Flunky. This person goes hand in hand with the instigator. The instigator really can't do their job well if they don't have this person. You know, they're like Batman and Robin, you know, ketchup and mustard. You know, you get what I'm saying, salt and pepper or something. These are those couples on the job, those dysfunctional couples who one creates, you know, the disturbance and the other one propels it. So I take a shit on the floor and then you kick it around in a circle. See how that works? The Flunky, the person that can be used by anyone for any reason. Doesn't even take much information on your part to get that they'll need from you to implement something or do something for you. It could be silly. We've seen scores of videos out here on social media of people, you know, who have gotten in fights and done things and went with other people to get, you know, jump someone or do something that cost them the rest of their life. No one's perfect in this world. We have all made mistakes. But the point I'm trying to stress to you folks is when you reflect on yourselves, you look back at your whole life, you look back at your youth, you look back at things you've done, fights, you know, anything. And you say to yourself, you know, who are you now? Because if you're living in the present now, you're here. You should be better than what you were. Every day should be a growth point for you. But this Flunky person, they don't have the proper esteem. And they don't have good esteem for themselves. Low self-esteem. And so this person can be used, you know, in any way and disregarded, you know, after the fact. But they don't know that because they're literally flunkies. Now flunkies have a more formal name. You know, you've heard on a video I've done the flying monkey thing. Yeah, we call them flying monkeys too. So that flunky could, you know, be a flying monkey type of person, characteristic. But they're weasel-faced dogs because they're down in scumbag dirty, and their whole entire purposes of doing these things is to disenfranchise a person, to severely harm a person. You know, it's more than just trivial foolishness or low gradeness. It's more than that. It's about trying to hurt someone, harm them as best you can in these toxic work environments. So the Flunky is literally a stooge for any purpose that the instigator may have. And they're a power couple at this bullshit on the job. And if you have many, many stressful days or nights, I don't know what shift you're working at your job, right? But you have these stressful situations where you're just trying to get through an 8-hour day, a 12-hour day, a 16-hour, whatever you're working. You're trying to get through this day to pay those bills, right? To secure your peace of mind for later on when you get old and you retire or something. This is why people work. No one just wants to work for someone, right? People who have their own businesses and they're doing these things, you know, it's just as hard. I keep telling you guys, it's just as hard. You have to work. You have to hustle, right? And I think it's about, you know, putting in that effort. But in any event, when you come to the job, if you're a gullible type of person, if you're the type of person who has your own esteem issues, then you're going to be like a moth to a flame type of situation with these people. Because you're not going to suspect that they have some type of agenda. And nor are you able to sense that they're bad people, and that's something that I guess most people probably could do. But empaths are all ready to go, right? Empaths have that ability, that great ability to smell out the narcissist, to snuff them out. We can smell the weasel-faced dogs, right? We can smell them. But these people don't have that ability. They're not equipped with that nose. So therefore, what they do is they become flunkies for these people. And then they're discarded, like I said. So there's always a bad ending in this situation. You're not dealing with good people here, folks. What do you think? I'm going to say something nice? These people are bad. And you need to avoid them in your workspace at all costs. Don't like you people. Can't stand you. You have never done anything productive in your lives. A job should be productive, but you people go to work in these workplace environments and, you decrease productivity. All right? Which gets into, the atmosphere, the full-blown atmosphere of narcissism in the workplace. Where sometimes on these environments, you cannot see the narcissist. They're hiding, but they stink. They reek of their bullshit and their evil. So it's in the air. It's like a skunk. You can smell it. You know they're there. It's like a crowd of people, but you smell that skunk somewhere. Can't see them yet, but they're there. The full-blown narcissistic coworker will most certainly get you fired. They will most certainly do it. If they have to lie, cheat, or do whatever they have to do to win this game, because it's a game for them. They're psychologically impaired, folks. There's something in you, maybe maybe in your interaction, they felt, that you got the better of them. Any of these things. So you have to be careful who you're dealing with. You need to always know who you're dealing with, especially the narcissistic coworker. These are the type of people who are so dangerous. They will literally do something physical to you on the job. They will literally sabotage your car on a job and take that risk of being detected. But it means so much to them to do this crazy, heinous stuff that, they'll do it. Because the reward for them is to see you suffer or see you out of something. One of the rules that people don't follow in life, especially at a job, is that this is where you make your money. Go to work your job, and go home. Stop trying to, maximize your social circles at your job and your workplace. It's not really professional anyway. Now, in these environments, like I said, in some cases there are instances where there could be something different. If you're talking about empaths or something, genuinely good people. But most people I've seen in my experience in life when I worked at jobs, most people that I have seen were either sociopaths or just bumbling, flunkies. AKA flying monkeys. One of those things. And all they did every day was come to work and gossip. Just like a pattern. Gossip. Slander people. Say people did stuff, did this or that. Set people up on the job. Not do their work tasks. You know these people, folks. There are millions and millions and millions of you folks out there who work jobs every day, who go to work every day. So you know what I'm talking about. And my fight is for you folks. When I worked the job years ago, I suffered immensely in these workplace environments, in any of them. Enough so much that I was able to gather research, come to my conclusions to try to help myself, self-therapy. So yeah. These people are so dangerous that you just need to go to work, make a living, okay? Your social life, You can build that in the, out in the street somewhere. You know, you can do that there. But keep your job professional. Keep your business to yourself, right? Keep your cards close to your chest. I always say that. And the reason why you want to do that, because I had my last thing here, which really ties into this whole thing, because the showrunner, the directors, aka the master planners, the bosses, the people that really power that wheel, the people that the instigators play to. They're like the court jesters or something. See how everyone is all connected in this four person setup here. They all feed off of each other. They're all connected. Now, if you're not any of these people, then you're just like me. You're empathic or something. Because if you're not empathic, what are you? Right? That means you're not aware of the narcissists, right? The narcissists who are all around you, about you. You're not seeing them. So you can't be an empath. And that will put you in the middle, the sheeple. The real dangerous people. The flunkies are really probably the most dangerous out of all four of these people. Because one would think, right? One would think that the master planner would have the most, present the most danger to a person. And they do. Because they ultimately, if you're talking about your job, you're there to work. If you get fired, you don't have a job. So they can do that. They have that power. But the person who's willing, to give them all of the fuel they need, because they don't have power unless you give them something, unless they have something that they can bureaucratically do that will affect your life or put you in a situation where, you're out of something. No one wants to do that. Workplace environments are stressful for these reasons, folks, because you have to be there. If you won a lottery to hit a big old lottery ticket or something, wouldn't that be awesome? Right? Wouldn't have to contend with this stuff, right? And that's why I always talk about trying to independently make your money. I always talk about these things. At least you set the terms of your life. At least you don't have to deal with this. And the stress levels, right? It's a different type of stress. Working for yourself and trying to hustle and make things happen, it's a different type of stress. But it's good stress. It's healthy. Not the toxic workplace environments that creates all types of scenarios, some deadly. I mean, you've seen things over the years on the news and reports about people getting harmed and all types of insanely crazy things. And you have to also be careful because these people will set you up. The first minute that, they feel that you're being assertive in a conversation or something, you have to be careful. They'll say that you cursed them out or something. These people will do that. And that master planner boss, the puppeteer, behind the strings. They're pulling those strings and they're working each person to get the maximum outcome, which is ultimately getting rid of your ass. Because you're the empath. You're on the other side of the fence. You're the adversary. You're the adversary. Excuse me, folks. Because my mouth is dry. I don't have any water. Talking a lot. Bear with me in a minute. We'll get through this. Your adversary. That's who you are to them. Because we'll get back to this talk. This is serious. And I think you want to pay attention to this. Don't see, this is a teachable. Just like that moment right there. Right? We're all human. We all make mistakes, right? And you guys make mistakes. Many of you who are looking at this video, you just made a mistake, right? A minute ago or something. But you will literally see, I talk about the human condition because the human nature, the human condition, a human will actually see another person do something they themselves will do. And would judge that person. So I don't necessarily, judge in the aspect of saying I'm better than you. When I talk about the actions, I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about what I've done. How I could be better. And why you should be better. You know what I mean? It's about that. It's about improvement. That improvement affects my life. It makes it better for me. You know? Makes it better for me. You want to have a better life. You don't want to have to be at these jobs dealing with these bosses who have planned things, you know, to make you suffer. I mean, they could have easily fired you a long time ago, but they want to, you know, play with you like a ball of yarn or something. Cat with a ball of yarn or something. So don't be that person. Don't be that target. And if you find out that you are a target, the humdrums won't see this. They'll just get fired and go on to another job and get fired and go on to another job and won't recognize, you know, the low level people around them. The weasel faced dogs that are all about them, viciously waiting waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting to attack them, waiting to slander, hurt them or something. Don't be these people. Now, my mouth is terribly dry, and I'm about to get on up this trail, so I'm gonna get off this video right now, but I'm gonna say I love bad behavior, but I love people who are trying to get out of these environments, because they don't have to be in them. You have the power. You don't let these people reign over you like that. And once you recognize that the environment is as bad as it is, you need to escape. Y'all guys need to check out my Hybrid Empaths versus Sociopaths series 1 through 4, part 1 through 4. Because that's connected to something like this. But in this series, and I'll follow this up. I'll have a follow-up to this video, where I'll break down some of the finer aspects of the weasel face dog. Because they're a dog, because they're low down and dirty and just a scumbag. And that's why they're dogs. Actually, I wouldn't even want to, assign that title to man's best friend, because dogs are man's best friend, right? Don't want to do that. But yeah, we'll talk in another video, right? And I want you guys to really, really pay attention to the people that you see every day. When you go to work tomorrow, right? If you had a conflict, back off of that conflict immediately. Just work your job. If there's a conflict or something, go to some authority, document things, do a lot of these things, because it could come back to bite you in the butt if you don't have your stuff together, because these people are planning. That's the point I'm making. They're planning. So we'll get into a more in-depth video next go round. Till we talk again. You folks have a nice night. It's starting to rain too. You folks have a nice night, and I'm gonna get up this trail. I don't even have a coat out here. Y'all take care.